it's Jess from Jellephant Art, and today's video I will be doing a 3-colour acrylic painting challenge. So basically it's kind of quite self-explanatory really. I will be doing an acrylic painting, but I will be limited to only 3 colours, and those colours will be chosen completely at random. So yeah, let's just get straight on to the video. So these are my acrylic paints, they're by Arteza, it's the 60 set, and yeah, here's what they look like. So yeah, I'll just, like I said, be picking 3 at random. I will leave the link to the set in the description in case you want to get one of your own. You don't need a set this big, but I just thought, you know what, I do acrylic painting so much, so I wanted to get a nice big set, but they do also have like a 26 set I believe, so yeah, you can definitely, get that one too. Okay, so let's see. Right, what's the first one? Oh, okay, light apricot. Okay, this is actually a fairly new set, and of all the colours this might be like one of the most used ones. And yeah, I quite like that colour actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Right. Oh, what's this next one? Oh, chromium oxide green. That is actually the kind of colour scheme I do. I mean, maybe like more of an olive green, but that is literally like one shade away. But honestly, I'm not going to complain because it's very, very close. Right. Oh, gold. Okay, you can't really mix that with any of the colours. Well, I could technically, but I just don't think it, it's not really like a proper block colour, if that makes sense. So yeah, those are my 3 colours. I honestly quite like this colour scheme. It's the sort of thing I'd use actually, just maybe with like a slight tweak of the colours, but honestly I don't think it's that bad. So yeah, I'll be using a wooden panel just because it's a bit sturdier than a canvas. And for part of the thumbnail I had to use some paint colours on it. Those weren't actually the paint colours I used because I thought it would kind of be spoilers. So yeah, I had to spread it out, let it dry, and then I put some gesso over top of it. Partly, just to cover up the mess I've made, and also just because, I don't know, I feel like wood just kind of absorbs the paint a little bit. So yeah, I didn't really want that to happen. Yeah. Okay, so now the gesso has completely dried, and that is actually because it's the next day, hence the change of outfit. I don't know why I'm showing you really, but yeah, I am. So I'll be using a mechanical pencil to sketch out my idea. Now I kind of had a rough idea in my head, which is honestly kind of a random thing for me. I feel like it's the sort of thing I'd paint on a kind of like an oddly shaped object, I guess, but not really on a canvas, because you can do a million intricate designs on a canvas, whereas if you're doing it on a weird shaped object, kind of more limited, I guess. But yeah, well, I suppose it's technically not a canvas, it's a wooden panel, but still, it's basically the same thing. So yeah, what I'm kind of trying to do is do kind of like a cactus sort of thing. Well, the main one in the middle is meant to be kind of like a succulent almost. Because I just thought, plants would be cool. And kind of work with the colour scheme. But I just decided that no, I don't like that. It was mainly just, the main issue was that I couldn't really think of anything to do for the background that wasn't incredibly boring. So yeah, let's have a little go at having another sketch. And this time I decided to go with a similar kind of thing because I am doing a plant, but this time I'm thinking of doing a vase of flowers. Now I actually did a watercolour as a Christmas present for a family member before Christmas, and yeah, it's kind of similar to that, but obviously I did it in watercolour, and I definitely think watercolour is the ideal medium to use for this, but because it was a Christmas present I didn't actually get to keep it, which, not gonna lie, I'm actually really slightly sad about that because I do really like that painting, but whatever. I find myself sometimes liking the paintings more that I make for other people, and then like I don't actually keep it myself, so you know, that's kind of annoying. Like there are so many paintings in my room that like I kind of really don't like at all. So yeah, I'll probably have to paint over some, but I already have so many art projects like on the go, it's just impossible to like find time to do even more. So yeah, I decided to kind of see what colours I could make with the green and the light apricot. So yeah, I just kind of mixed them together a bit, and I did this in a very kind of unsatisfying way, especially with the, you know, clump of paint. But yeah, I managed to kind of create like almost like a sage green. I guess it's kind of an emerald. But I don't know. I guess like the chromium oxide green is kind of like a jade green, which is good because I love jade green. Just maybe slightly more on the green side than the blue side, you know. So yeah, I'm just going in with the paint. So I decided to use the light apricot for these types of flowers. I don't really know what to call them. But I think of them in my head as like tulips, even though I'm pretty sure that isn't really what a tulip looks like, whatever. So yeah, I think that looks quite nice. And now I'm moving on to the stems of the flowers. These are definitely too thick because the paintbrush I used was too big, and as much as I could have definitely, like if I was better at it, I could create a fine line, because it's a round brush so you can get a nice thick line as well as a fine line, but I kind of couldn't really make a very fine line today, so they're looking quite thick at the moment, but don't worry, I do fix that later. Well, I do kind of fix that later. And I also decided to add some like stems that have got like just leaves on, because I don't know, I just think that looks quite nice and adds a bit more leaves to it. I don't know. And yeah, it just kind of adds a bit more variety to it, I guess. I probably should have like made it a bit more cluttered with like flowers and stuff, because there aren't really many in there, but you know, that's okay. So for the roses, I decided to make them gold. My original plan was to do like the light apricot colour, but then I decided that that was just going to be too kind of basic, and I also feel like gold roses are pretty cool. And yeah, they definitely look very grand. And for the pot, I kind of vase, I decided to kind of do a similar thing as to what I did with the watercolour. But of course this is with acrylic, so it is really very different. And yeah, it does look quite weird really. I did add water to it obviously, just to take down the transparency. Which is actually kind of difficult, because even I find with acrylic, even when I do add like quite a lot of water to it, there's still like, it's still pretty opaque. Like you'd be surprised how much water you need to like actually really dilute the colour. And I mixed this colour up and I really like it. Again, I don't really know how to describe it.
But there's kind of no need, because you know you can see it in front of your eyes, so there's really no point in me trying.
So yeah, I'm just colouring that in for the background. My idea was to kind of do like almost like a kind of gold splatter thing, which is what that sketch is about. But I realised that wouldn't really work because of the vase, so yeah, I guess I'll have to make my mind up later about what I want to do about that. But for now I'm just painting around it because I know I want that bit green. Although actually I do, spoiler alert, kind of end up changing the edges later, so it's kind of pointless that I did those. But whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. My original plan with this challenge was to actually allow myself to use black and white, because I don't know, I feel like black and white aren't really colours, so yeah, I was originally going to let myself use them, but then I realised that like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of cheating, so I'm already mixing paint as it is, so I'm kind of, you know, basically this is like kind of more of a 4-colour challenge really, because of this green colour I've made. But yeah, I just decided that I wanted to just stick to the colours I had, just because And I also decided to kind of give up on that kind of splatter idea, which I'm honestly kind of sad about because I feel like that would have been pretty cool. But yeah, then I decided to make, when I made the vase gold, that wouldn't have really worked. So yeah, I'll just have to live with that. So I actually decided to just get rid of the vase, so it's more of a bouquet of flowers now. And I just realised that I probably could have kept that like kind of spatter thing in the background, because I was originally going to do that gold. Obviously that wouldn't have worked with the vase, but now I've removed the vase, I could have done that. But I didn't actually like really think, I didn't think of that at the time. So yeah, we're just going to have to live with it without. But I did actually do something else with the background, which will come later. And now I'm finally going in with a bit more of a detail brush with the stems. They're still quite thick really, but it's alright, they're not too bad. So yeah, I'm just kind of carrying on with that. There's not really much to say because honestly I had so much footage for this video because I don't know, I was never really like fully satisfied with the idea. Is it just me, or did that sentence make 0 sense? And I'm not really fully satisfied with the result, to be honest. Mainly because I'm actually looking at the painting right now, and there are a couple of times where I've tried to mix that green background colour and it's like slightly too dark or slightly too light, and like, I don't know, it just really bothers me. And this is when I went in with a gold metallic paint pen. Now you may be thinking, hang on, that isn't that gold acrylic paint that you chose. Well, it's an acrylic paint pen in the colour gold. I mean, there might be like a slight colour difference, but honestly at the end of the day it is gold. So yeah, I do think it counts, and I decided to add this kind of triangle pattern to the background. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool actually. This did take me quite a while, so I filmed most of it off camera, and this is how it looks with the triangles. I think it looks really nice in my opinion. Yeah, I just think it kind of adds something to it because it would have been quite bland otherwise. I still probably would have slightly preferred the splatter, but you know, I really didn't think of that at all at the time. So yeah, and now I'm just touching up the flowers because the petals got a little bit like covered up by parts of the background. So yeah, I'm just kind of bringing them back a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on with that. I actually had to film quite a lot of this process off camera because it took a while, and yeah, there was just lots of touch-ups and stuff that needed to be done, and I find that like with art projects I never really give myself enough time. So yeah, this is it after a bit of touching up. I've finished. I've like made the edges gold, which I think looks quite nice. But yeah, as I was saying, like no matter how much time I give myself on an art project, it's never enough. So yeah, I definitely didn't give myself enough time on this one, but it was a very last minute like video choice. So yeah, I wasn't even sure there was going to be a video, to be honest, because I really hadn't made my mind up at all on what video I was going to do. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. So yeah, just again, more touch-ups. Honestly, I wonder how long I've spent on this painting. Probably not like that long, but like I reckon the majority of it is just touch-ups and stuff, because I don't know, I just kept on making mistakes because I was probably rushing it a little bit because I knew that I didn't want to spend too long on it. So yeah, I was probably rushing it a bit too much, whereas I find that if you take your time it's actually like quicker in the long run. So yeah. I also decided for the the petals of some of the flowers, I kind of used the gold as a bit of shading. I wasn't really sure what colour to do that, but I thought the gold would look quite good, and I think it does, so yeah, that's good. And yeah, now I'm adding more to the stems and leaves, just kind of covering up some of the bits where the gold triangles have kind of overlapped, I guess. Something I think I'm gonna try to start doing is like film my videos on like nicer days, because I feel like the natural lighting really kind of adds to it. Like you might be able to tell in this footage it was a very nice day outside, so yeah, I think that just makes it look a whole lot brighter and nicer. So yeah, now I've got some very satisfying close-up shots. I love the gold paint, it's so pretty. Yeah, it's kind of difficult holding my phone like while painting, and like both making sure that it's in shot and also making sure that like I'm painting like in the correct place, I guess. So yeah, I did make a few mistakes on multiple occasions. Like I kind of painted a bit outside of the lines on this one, which looks a bit weird. I find that I don't really know how to like paint or draw inside the lines very well, so yeah, that's kind of annoying. And because the gold paint is like fairly transparent, that would have meant like going over that specific bit quite a lot of times, so that would have been quite annoying. I decided to like cover up this bit on like the bow ribbon thing, because I thought it looked a bit weird, even though it made a bit more logical sense. Yeah, it just looks a bit weird. And yeah, now I've just done some general touch-ups, and now I am signing it with the same like kind of light apricot colour in paint pen form. So I started off with these colours, chromium oxide green, light apricot and gold, and this is what I was able to create with it. I'm honestly pretty happy with it. Like I said earlier, it does bother me a bit, like certain parts of it, but overall I think it's quite nice. If we just don't look too up close, obviously
While I'm showing you some nice up close shots of it,
then I think it does look alright. But yeah, not my favourite painting I've ever done, and kind of different, I guess. I mean, I love this whole kind of aesthetic, I guess, but yeah, I wouldn't normally do this on like a canvas or a wood panel. And wow, that's some crazy camera footage. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it, to be honest. I did kind of go a bit crazy filming those of footage because, I don't know, I find it's best just to have like too much footage of like the final art projects than not enough. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and also subscribe to see more content on the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye!